around, and I think composites has a key role in that to make that happen, whether it's on a leisure boat or on a workboat or even on propulsion systems with wind assist. All of this, of course, comes into categories. I think I'm not going to go into detail of scope 1 to 3, because obviously AI can tell you a perfect description of those. I think there is something to report, and there is something for every company to start thinking, where is my focus and where can I add value? We as Structteam try to bring all those things together. So what is the right material for the right design? How do we pass certification while allowing the builder to do the right thing? And have a sustainable supply chain, not only from the perspective of CO2, but also to meet the demand of the end customers. All of these choices have an impact on the sustainability. So getting the right mixture or the right ingredients together is key. Let's take a very quick look, for example, at an end-of-life matrix of resins, where you see different technologies and what they're capable of. This can be a bit confusing, of course, but all of them have their own angle of what they can, what their value proposition is. You can see on the top left, for example, something that is already being done. A lot of industrial companies do that already, because it's basically using the waste for some benefit. On the lower right, for example, there you can see a closed loop version of a resin that can be fully recycled and reused to make new parts. So this is a bit a transition that we see. Fibers, cores, and resins, all together make that mixture of a composite material. And you can see that transition of, let's say, the old school, that's the today's waste, that also can be developed into new products with new technologies. But you see a transition of trying to use more sustainable materials and eventually use recycled materials to do so. Curveworks just showed, of course, how they do it. Maybe in that sense, a quick snapshot of what we use, for example, as a methodology to design in wind turbine blades, is to also quantify that. What is the cost, benefit, and net gain in the end if you are going to use recycled material? And what is then the end of life? And what's the right mixture between recycled material and virgin material? And what is more interesting? All that comes down, of course, to material properties, engineering the right package, making it meet the client's demands, also the market demands and certification. So I think it's a tailored solution. And if you want to see that way, every company or every association will have a slightly different focus. The fleet owners will think differently and put a different focus on this than the shipyards. Therefore, they might have different priorities. So I think it's a matter of tailoring the solutions of composites. How do we avoid having so much waste and making the end of life of composites brighter?
Thanks, Nico. I think you gave us a great overview of all the developments also in the materials and as well as in the recycled materials, which are more and more coming on the markets. We've seen also with Styria the mix of digital and production of composites or composite of hulls. Let's talk now about the rigging, the future of rigging, because James is part of a company who has developed both composite riggings, outstanding performance. We've seen it in recent America's Cup and currently in the Vendée Globe. But you also have the software and the monitoring of their performance, and you can showcase that in your slides.
Yes, thank you. Hi everyone, good afternoon, and thanks again for joining us here today. I'm James Sandel from Future Fibers, the global leading composite rigging manufacturer, and super excited to be showcasing our Synapse products here today. With load cells integrated into the rigging terminations and the visualization tools that overlay actual loads with target or max working loads derived from the North Technology Group's engineering powerhouse, the Synapse products really do bring the engine above deck alive. So what is Synapse? The 2023 Dame Award winner, Synapse is the product name that covers all of our rigging parts that are integrated with load cells, how we manage and process the data from those load cells, and finally, our visualization tools. As these parts measure load in line rather than shear, like a standard load pin, it makes calibration much more accurate and consistent. So let's take a quick look at some of the recent examples of the hardware. So turnbuckles are our most commonly used Synapse parts, either single action or dual action turnbuckles. A common placement for these would be the deck end fitting of the V1 or the D1, and we're on some pretty high profile projects. Most recently, you'll find these on the Wally rockets. Another common Synapse part is the toggles. So often found on the head stays, either the upper or the lower end, and you'll find some of these on the TP52s that have been launched in 2024. And besides those two, there's a whole host of other parts that we can do that are a bit more bespoke. So collar nuts, ram jaws, where the load cell is the connection between, say, the hydraulic cylinder and the Future Fibers cable, and then also some custom sensors. However, our newest development in the Synapse world this year has been in the visualization of the load monitoring system. As mentioned earlier, we can now overlay actual data with target loads or max working loads. And we're also able to toggle these between upwind or downwind or what sail sets a yacht has. I think it's best shown in a short video. So it's a short video, but we do have we do have a demonstration of that on the Southern Spars stand. So I'd urge you all to come in and take a look and chat with the team there if you get the opportunity. So we see this technology enhancing all of our customers' user experiences, whether it's sailing at Raven on the screen now, pushing the boundaries of super yacht performance, the Swan 88 Speed, looking to cruise the world in the safest manner possible, or right through to the TPs or Wally rockets, kind of eking out every inch of performance. The Synapse products will add invaluable insight into how your rig package is working. So just briefly, I'll touch on a couple of other rigging advancements from Future Fibers in the last 12 months. And we've got a team here across the Southern Spars and Hall Spars stand, so please go and catch up with the team to learn more about these. Firstly, EC Torque, so redesigned terminals, massive weight saving across the furling cables, and possibly more interesting, however, is our new rigging product, EC9. So that's taken our traditional rigging product, EC6, but using ultra high mod carbon rods, we've been able to reduce the size of the cable, so smallest diameter rigging product, minimum weight, and maximum reliability. Excellent advancement there. Thank you.
Well, James, do you also provide a kind of head-up display to be able to see to monitor the performance online, or is it coming on the roadmap?
So it's funny. So a few people laughing, but actually that is something that is talked about. Heads-up display type thing for the crew on a yacht. I think anything's possible, on this road. It's very exciting.
Well, looks great. Jono, with your background, first of all, I have to congratulate for this morning's Dame Award you got for North Sales and for the Renew product. But with your racing background, many years of experience in the yacht racing community, how do you look at all these mixtures of digital performance and sustainability?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the award that we got voted on this morning. It's great to be recognised, and I think with that product, it was one of those initiatives that went right across the group. And this came not just from the sustainability team, but also the materials engineers in the company, the manufacturing team there, and really takes this vision, especially in a corporate entity, to be able to actually look for something and just go, actually, this is what we want to do, and we've got the not just the ability, but also the courage to go out there and do it. So it's fantastic to see so many actual designs out there today getting recognised and rewarded for their ingenuity, which is fantastic. Now, I'm just going to apologise for my lack of slides. I blame my marketing department for that completely. So I'm just going to have to paint the picture for you, if I could.
But the cell is on display, the material is on display.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a little bit harder to talk about racing, though. I guess when I started into my journey of sustainability after yacht racing, and I had quite a long career in that sport, which spanned 23 years in the America's Cup and 7 different campaigns. It was one of those journeys, I guess, where you did see so much consumption, and for the most part, as a yacht racer, you're just completely engrossed in performance. And especially in the world of the America's Cup, if anyone's been lucky enough to be involved in it, you have this goal at the end of it that you're trying to get to, and for a lot of the time, that's all that matters, and you work incredibly hard to get there. Now, as the campaigns kind of rolled along, I was lucky enough to be involved in the British America's Cup team in Bermuda in 2016, and that whole campaign was built around a sustainable initiative, and we had some amazing sponsors on there from Low Carbon, which was a solar power company, and also 11th Hour. And from that campaign, I was able to witness and see actually that you can have this synergy between actual high performance and also doing things in a better way. Yeah. And I'm not going to say that the America's Cup or yacht racing in general is sustainable, because there's a few times when it just really isn't. But I think we can do things better. And I think from that moment on, we've started to see, whether it's events or teams trying to do things better. And we were over at the Marine Shift 360 stand earlier on, and that program was actually born out of the BAR campaign back there, and it was a vision that they had, and to see that being supported by 11th Hour and Anthesis, and now growing into its own standalone company is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. And with our experience looking at several activities, I can say that the sports world, the athletes, not only at sea, but also running or cycling and so on, they all have in mind to have better products, which means sustainable products. Performing, yes, but also sustainable. And I think that the sports goods industry is a great laboratory for the rest of the composite industry. And the composite industry is bringing solutions, new fibers, recycled materials, recyclable materials, and so on. So what you have experienced in sailing, the frustration to have performing materials not sustainable, is driving this change too, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is something that we're all starting to notice, not just in the sailing industry, but the marine industry in general, that, for a lot of us, we've had these desires and wishes, but now we're finding that technology is actually catching up, and, recycled materials, the performance, the durability, the quality is increasing at such a rate that we do have the ability now to introduce them and integrate them into, the materials like the sailcloth that we want to produce. And it's not actually a deterrent anymore, and we're holding the principles of that we we hold true to the company of longevity, durability, and performance, because at the end of the day, it's no good making a sailcloth or a fabric if it doesn't actually perform like you need it to perform, and people, discard it and go buy a new one.
Fully agree. By the way, there is a second session on composites on Thursday, same time, same place. We're going to talk about recycling of boats at the end of life. So as you have seen, sustainability is a kind of red line along a lot of developments. Sustainability, digital, simulating tools and simulating products, monitoring products. So these are news that are coming from the composite industry. Maybe there are questions in the room about composites to our panelists. So I think there should be a mic available. If you raise your hand and have a question, please proceed. No questions? So I invite you to visit Jack World in March. You will see much more than the fact that we have seen today. This is really the global gathering of the composite industry, with all the value chain represented there, and with innovative companies who are present today on this panel, who are exhibiting, presenting their latest products. So join us in March in Paris every year, and you will discover the whole world of composites. I would like to thank our panelists for sharing some elements, some teasing about what they do. Of course, you can see them at their booths. Curveworks Hall 12, I think. You are in both areas, so we can find you on the list. And Jono, of course, congratulations again for the award.
Thank you.
Thank you.